This is the plaintiff, Curtis McKinney. He says the defendant, his friend for over 30 years and the best man at his wedding, is taking advantage of him, and it's just not fair. That's right, the guy owes him $1,000 for some contracting work he did for him. He refuses to pay up, and friend or no friend, he's suing him here and now for every penny of the money he is owed. This is the defendant, Theodore Thesaurus. He says the plaintiff expects to get paid under the table because when he asked him to sign a 1099 for his wages, he balked. The plaintiff thinks he's above the law, but he's a straight shooter. He doesn't want to get in trouble with the IRS, and he's not paying the guy until he signs the proper paperwork. He's accused of stiffing a friend. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $8,000 for loss of work and slander.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn in.
Thank you, Douglas. Curtis McKinney, you are suing your former very good friend of 30 years, Theodore Thesaurus, for $1,000 of non-payment for work that you say you did for him. You're counterclaiming against him $8,000 because, according to you, he badmouthed you and caused you to lose work. Talk to me. Tell me first. What happened?
I've been friends with Teddy for like 30 years. And between my regular jobs that I had with other organizations, he would ask me to come out and help him on projects. And he would base, as far as payment, he would pay me based upon the amount of money we had an agreement on, either in writing or verbal. So,
okay. Have you ever had anything in writing between you two?
No.
Okay. Either in writing,
No.
which we never did, or verbal. Okay. And now, you two weren't just friends for a long time. You were really good friends.
Oh, he was my best man, a good guy, always took care of me.
And were you his best man?
Not any longer, sir.
No,
Your
that's
Honor.
not sir.
No.
But were you his best man at his wedding?
Yes, I was.
So you were each other's best men at your weddings.
Mm-hmm.
This is so sad.
Life moves on.
All right, so you're at a job. He's hired you. You're supposed to get what?
I'm supposed to get 1,000 of the 3,000 project because it was through a friend of mine that I grew up with, who's a realtor. And he happened to stop me one day when he was driving by and say, "Kurt, I want you to look at a project. Would you give me a bid as far as a project and figure out what
Well, then
you
what
can
role
do
does
for
he
us?"
have?
Well, Teddy was going to join me because he said, "Kurt, let's get the job. Let's see what it is."
Right, but if you got the job, why aren't you just getting $3,000?
No, he didn't give it to me because I wasn't insured. Teddy was. So
Okay.
Teddy said, "I'll write the project in my name, and because I'm insured." I said, "Fine."
And then so you're supposed to get 1,000. He's supposed to get 3,000.
That's correct.
Okay. So and you're supposed to get 1,000 of his 3,000.
That's correct.
Right. So come payday, or in the middle of the job, actually, because that's where the problem happens, he does what?
The thing that happened here is I didn't quit on the job. When I asked for a partial payment, because he already received two $1,000 payments, he decided to say, "I'm not going to pay you. You didn't finish in the job, and you need to sign a 1099. I said, "Teddy, all the years I've worked with you, you never gave me a 1099. Why is this an issue all of a sudden?" His excuse is, "You either sign it or you're not getting paid."
That's how he talked to you?
That's how he started.
So what'd you do?
I said, "We'll talk about it later on." He said, "No, fine. Take your goods and your tools, get out of my truck." Ran around the rear of the truck, threw my tools on the floor.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Okay. What happened?
Very simply, Your Honor, he did not work the whole job. He would not sign a 1099 because
I'm just curious, how had you done business before this moment? Had you ever had him sign a 1099 before?
No, I had asked him for several months earlier to sign a 1099 because the law was basically that.
The law was always that. Had you ever asked him?
I understand that, Your Honor, but they started enforcing it, and whatever way you want to cut it, I have to pay the taxes.
Had he told you he was going to be needing a 1099 before that moment?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you do know that. I mean, you want to get it under the table, right? But you know you don't have a right to get it under the table.
I don't have a problem paying taxes, Your Honor.
Well, that's the only reason to be upset about the 1099. There is no other reason to be upset. The 1099 is a form that the IRS requires.
That's correct.
Because they want to know if you're paying them money because they want to take some of it. So they can only do it if you report that he's making. So the only reason to get upset about him reporting it in a 1099 is that now you're going to have to pay the taxes.
I wasn't upset about that.
Taxes are for the little people. So tell me about the argument when you're both in the car. The tools are in the cab.
I finally had to put my foot down because I had no leverage. At that point, I gave him one check for $500, and I gave him another check for $385, which cleaned us up. Where the $1,000 comes in, I have an email here where shortly thereafter he said it's only $600, not $1,000. To confuse everything. So at this point, I told him, without a W-9, you're not working on the job. I'm responsible for that job.
Oh,
You're
so
not-
what you wanted him to sign was a W-9?
Yeah, right.
So that you could issue a
W-9.
1099?
Right, exactly,
Okay.
Your Honor. And I have to pay my taxes like everybody else. If he doesn't sign a
Well,
W...
what were you doing up to now? Like what?
Well, basically-
Did you get caught? Did somebody get? What happened to all of a sudden make you see the light?
Well, why I changed with him is because he
You said they started enforcing it, so I'm asking you, how did that come up for you?
Oh, yeah, how it came up for me, Your Honor, is I do a lot of corporate work, and then they started enforcing it on me, and I said, listen, Kurt, now...
Because your clientele changed. It was
Right,
people
exactly.
who require the documentation.
Right, exactly.
That's what changed. All right. So you want to get paid $1,000 because you feel that you are owed it on the work that you had completed up to that point?
That's correct.
And then you say you received an email from him saying, oh, it wasn't $1,000, it was $600?
Yeah, and the work he completed at that point was he did not complete the job.
Okay, first of all, let me see the email that says $600. And then also, let's talk about the contract. Is this verbal between the two of you or in writing?
No, here.
The contract that Lorenzo, my friend, had, he had
Here,
me
just
give
a
it to
second
Teddy
here.
to sign. He gave me the check to give to Teddy for deposit.
And what was it for? What was the work that had to be
Just
done?
to start the work. It was a punch list of
Here.
closing out work at a job site.
Well, it was more than, Your Honor, it was
Let
more...
me see what it was you hired him for. Do you have a contract with him?
No, I don't.
What is it you have? Just
Well, that was the contract between myself and Lorenzo, and that's basically what I
Okay.
paid. That's what I based the payment to him on.
right.
Because we're at
Stop
80%.
talking blank and hand over my $600 balance. So how did the $600 become $1,000?
There's reason. The Sam's Club project that I did with Teddy in Dover, Delaware, job was completed on August 11th. He told me it was 30 days pending he would be paid. I never received it.
How much was that?
Just $100 for helping on that project. It was the overnight project.
Did you ever pay him for the Sam's Club work?
No, because he wouldn't sign a...
Got it. And what else?
Where we did a deck job. He told me verbally I was being paid $165 by Mike. What happened was...
Okay, hold on one second. Your whole email talks about Sam's and all the other stuff. What did you miss in this email that you say you're owed?
I'm going to explain.
No, I need you to do this. I need you to read the email and tell me why your email is wrong when it says that
That's a typo,
because you're
Your Honor.
angry.
Just a typo.
Oh no, honey, that typo appears 3 times in the email. You need to see the email.
I
And you need
agree
to-
with that.
All right. So if you wrote an email where 3 times you say the math is 600, and that was good enough for you at the height of your anger, and when you are tallying up everything and you're ready to write off 30 years of friendship. Then if that was good enough for you, why isn't it good enough for me? What is it that you are owed that you didn't already talk about in that email?
Let me
Each job
explain.
you've mentioned is in the email.
Right, but the job that Teddy took, $350 for 10 days work, the deck job, he told me I was being paid $165. Instead, Mike and him told me on a conference call I was actually being paid $200. He deceived me. So I said that for 10 days, $35 a day is
Mike
$350.
doesn't decide what you get paid. You are his sub. He decides what you get paid. So basically, you want to change what your oral agreement was with him and how much you get paid.
Right.
I know what you say the oral
he
agreement
alluded
was
me.
because it's in the email. Okay, stop talking. All right. There's $600 that he feels he is owed, and you don't disagree that he is owed the $600. You don't want to give it to him unless he signs a W-9.
No, there are 2 points here, okay? He doesn't deserve the $600 because he did not complete the job on...
Yeah, but he didn't complete the job because you told him to take your tools and get out.
No,
Either sign the W-9 or take your tools and get out. All right, here's what's going to happen. I am going to order you to pay him the $600. Now, you have a countersuit against him for $8,000.
Yep.
Do tell.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you hire a friend?
Yes. Absolutely.
What if it doesn't go well?
Well, we know where they live.
Yeah, we know where they live, but do you want to lose a friend?
I would hire a friend, absolutely, but I would go out of my way to question their intention and the outcome and let them know if it's an outcome that I'm not happy with, we'd be arguing.
Oh, so you start out by saying, look, I don't really trust you, and I think you're shady, so I want to know exactly what your intentions are, but let's stay friends.
Certainly, but you did say it would be one of my friends.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. Wow, going inside the courtroom.
You have the Craigslist ads. He posted that for over 16 weeks, and I lost business.
How can you, first of all, let me see the ads you say he posted.
Thank you.
Okay, where does he, quote, post this?
On Craigslist.
So if somebody looks up your name, they see it?
That comes up. If somebody does a background check, that comes up.
Okay, so theft and deception contractor. This is a dishonest contractor alert. He has no staff of employees. He gives overpriced bids and does not itemize. This guy has lied to 3 customers on finishing their projects on time. Also, do not give him your computer to repair, for he'll download and steal your passwords and data. Where'd you get that from? Why would you say that?
He's done that in the past.
To who?
Prior customers. One day we were at the gas station. He was filling up his gas tank. I'm sitting in the front passenger of his vehicle. All of a sudden, this guy walks up on him while he's pumping gas and threatens to beat him up. He said, dude, you never gave me back my computer. You took my deposit and ain't never called me back. I'm here to, he just took action against him. He grabbed the pump, was ready to punch him. I ran out from the side and said, hey, what are you doing? He backs off, talking about, I had the guy. No, you didn't. That guy's ready to knock you out, man.
That's what we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
All right, but where, the passwords and all that, what's that about?
I've
Where do you
seen
get
him
that?
get into people's computers without even asking for a password. He does it on a standard.
I don't know what you're saying. You're saying that you've seen him get into whose computers?
People that hired him to do work.
What
and what
makes
he would
you
do,
think that they wouldn't give him the password if they're hiring him to do work on the computer?
What he's done on prior occasions, if a customer didn't agree to the amount of the service work that was done after they received a deposit, he would say, fine, I'll keep the computer. You're not going to pay me?
But that's not
Fine.
what you said. What you said was he'll steal your passwords. What evidence do you have that he'll steal your passwords?
He told me
because
he
you
did
can
it.
complain about him and talk about how he cheated you
told
in
me
your
he
business.
did it.
But so now he confessed to you, I stole their passwords, and did what with
Me
their
and
passwords?
Teddy was that close, he would honestly tell me what he was doing.
So he confessed to you, I stole the customer's password, and did what with the stolen password?
I don't know what he did with it, but he told me he had it accessible.
Just to get your programs running normal again. He'll download and steal your passwords and data just to get your programs running normal again. He has no set hourly fee for services, but will charge you $75 an hour to correct your system and not return your. I mean, it just sounds like somebody whining. It doesn't. How did this cost you business?
Normally, I would get $6,000 to $8,000 worth of Craigslist
You look just like
work.
the guy from Homeland.
Yeah.
In this picture, but you don't. You look really like the guy from Homeland in this picture. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. What's his name? I love this guy. All right. So it's a good picture, but go on.
No, normally I get $6,000 to $8,000 worth of work off of the website, and also from mainly generated from Craigslist. And I didn't have that last
How
year.
are you going to prove that?
I mean, I don't. I tell it like it is. I mean,
Yes, every litigant tells it like it is.
But Your Honor, you're as far as what's said in that ad, as far as I don't take contracts or anything like that, you just based a
I don't care. Like, see
Okay.
that, like half of what's in here wouldn't stop me from hiring you. It might stop me from hiring you. The worst thing he says in here, and this I would like to address, is do not give him your computer for repair, for he'll download and steal your passwords and data just to get your programs running normal again. Which doesn't sound like he'll download and steal your programs and data so that he can steal money from your bank account. That's what actually makes it sound kind of juvenile, like he'll download and steal it, but it's just so he can get your programs running normal again. So, I mean, when I'm reading this, how on earth are you going to be able to prove that this actually cost you business? And the answer to that is you can't. So I think I've heard what I need to hear. And on your counterclaim against him, 0. On his claim against you, $600 and the money he's owed, and make sure you send that 1099.
I need his Social Security number.
Say it again.
I need his Social Security number.
Yeah, you won't get the money until you hand over the Social Security number because that's where the problem lies, right? You can't file a 1099.
That's correct.
Right, and that's why you don't hire people without a W-9. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
we'll
just
take
want
care
my
of that
money and move
outside.
on.
Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So, after a lot of consideration, the plaintiff does get $600 out of this case. Mr. Tesouris, the defendant's just come out. You're suing for $8,000. you get nothing out of that.
Yeah, I
You
know.
understand that?
Yeah.
You will pay. You know, it's interesting. The judge thinks you look like Mandy Patinkin from
Yeah,
Homeland.
I know.
That's a compliment, you know? Other than that, it wasn't a good day for you in court.
Well, no, it's just, he got paid for not doing work, and, that's the way the judge saw it.
Well, he gets $600.
Right, he
So,
got $600
Yep.
for doing nothing,
Well-
except coming up here.
Hey, worth his while, right?
correct.
Very good. Okay. Mr. McKinney, I don't know if you agree with that. You think you deserve the money, right?
I deserved every dollar. Ted is a natural thief,
I can't
manipulator.
believe this friendship went to hell like it
Because
did.
he was taking cash transactions and stealing it off the top. And instead of being honest with me, he avoided and ran detours. But to run, hide, not answer my question, not speak to my lawyer when addressed, I'm not having it.
What about this friendship? It just is gone.
Let God have him. I'm good.
Let God have
I
it.
moved on. I got a better job. I make more.
Okay, very good.
I'm
Well, you
good.
dressed you
Thank
dressed
you.
for court today. You
I'm
look
good.
sharp.
Thank you.
And you're a winner.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Take care.
Okay, very
Have a
good.
good day.
Thank you very much. Harvey, what do you think?
Well, Doug, I mean, really simply, you got to pay legally, and if you don't, you can be prosecuted. Now, we'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.